Well, that's the role of art. And that's the role of artists. Well, that's the role of art. And that's the role of artists. Real artists are contending with the unknown, right? And they're possessed by it. They have a personality trait, openness, that makes them do that. They can't even help it. Makes them do that. They can't even help it. The worst thing for creative people is to not be creative because they just die. So one of the things I would say is buy a damn piece of art, you know? Find one that really speaks to you and look out if you do it. If it's a real piece of art, because you'll also get a little introduction to the artist, and then that'll seep into your life. That'll change things like mad. Well, that's the role of art. And that's the role of artists. Well, that's the role of art. And that's the role of artists. It's real artists.
Yeah, I don't even know. We got this thing. E.T. phone home. We got this thing back up in here, over here, making an appearance. I don't know, the frame kind of looked like, it looked weird because the microphone was like, it's just sticking up in this one little spot. So it's going to wander over here, it's going to wander over here. It's going to say, hola. Protect your ears, boys and girls. It's going to say, hola. No, nola. Hola. Hola, 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 hola. How's everybody doing today? We are live on video recording.
And I'll tell you this. This is episode number 21. We're crossing the threshold.
Does anyone know what that means? So here's what it means. I saw a podcast or a video on YouTube about podcasting and making videos on YouTube. And they were taking some statistics, and they said the top 1% of podcasts record 21 or more episodes. So if you record 21 episodes, you're in the top 1%. So congratulations to you for watching one of the top 1% of podcasts worldwide. Prestige worldwide! Boats and hoes! Boats and hoes! 21 episodes. Congratulations. I'll have to find some sort of little celebratory effect to put onto the video when I make the little edits, the magical edits. I'm going to try to break the habit of looking down here and look over here. Because I keep looking down here because this is me on the computer screen over here. Sometimes I'll look over there. Because look over here. I'll look over there. Now I'm on that screen. I have another screen there. It's weird like that. It's cool when you're editing and doing a bunch of different stuff. You can have different stuff to do. All right. 1% make the top 21 or more episodes. The top 1% make 21 or more episodes, is what I should say. The top 1% make 21 or more episodes. This is Don't Hold Your Breath episode number 21. That means we're the 1%ers. Be born from death every day. Be born from death every day. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? So here's what it's supposed to mean. There's a phrase that's called memento mori. It means remember your mortality, remember you're going to die. So in the Hagakure, I think it's Tsunemoto Yonemoto that writes, a samurai should meditate on inevitable death every day, seeing yourself be torn apart by great waves and earthquakes and dying in floods and all different kinds of ways. But every day one should consider yourself as dead. This is the essence of the way of the samurai. Like, okay, that sounds kind of like goth, right? It sounds like, what is going on? Do you like paint your face black and run around with spikes in your head and cut your tongue in half and do all kinds of weird stuff like that as well? No, you don't have to do that. And that's not what that means. What it means is live every day as if it were your last. Just be the best person you can be, do the best things you can be, create the most beautiful world that you can create because you create the world every day. So when I wrote, be born from death every day, so what that means is if you wake up in the morning and the first thing that you do is meditate, you go into a void, blank, empty the mind, transcend the ego, so on and so forth, then you're in a realm that can be equated with death. And then you can go into the ice bath next, and that's sort of like being born again into the world. You're going from the water world of the womb, and you're coming into a cold world of outer existence. Yeah, if you can find it, find it. It's there. And then the breath. And that's the first thing that the infant does when they're born. brought me back here. And then journaling. So breath control to bring awareness to the here and now. And then journaling, because your awareness is in the here and now. And then movement. Then go and move. Go walk, move, exercise, do kung fu, do something. Move the body into life. Bring the day to life. Be yourself, reborn every day. Come every day from death into life with intention. That's what it means. Let's go to the accountability chart. I'll knock this out real quick. 8 a.m. It was a little bit late morning today. I did not do the cold plunge this morning. I did 25 minutes of meditation. I did 3 rounds of breath holds, and the longest one was 3 minutes and 2 seconds. So I broke that 3-minute mark again. So I think there's something to that as well. Because this is in my little breath notebook where I'm writing stuff down, and I'm holding my breath and my handwriting gets completely out of control. After the second minute, it's like just completely illegible. Weight was down to 242 flat today. High five. Yeah, I like that. Sound effects and everything. I did not do any workout today. I did a 12 to 6 fast. I had some pho today, but I did not eat the noodles. It was kind of weird, but I think I actually kind of liked it. Everything else was delicious. Pho bin over on Westheimer, classic. So I added a net worth column to my accountability chart. So my net worth declined by $20 today because that was my pho lunch or whatever. I didn't spend anything else today, but also didn't make any money today. And so that's why that column's there, because the focus is on what are you making every day? How are you increasing and improving every day? Focus on how you're improving every day. Be proactive, be positive, and do it persistently, and you get places. It does work. I read about 5 pages of this great book called Mastery by Robert Greene. I'm doing some video journaling, and I put a little feel column. It has like a little sad face for a number 1 and a little happy face for a number 10. I put a number 7. I wasn't like jumping off the walls, but I felt pretty good today. Solid. And we'll see what time I go to bed. I'll write that in as well. That's a bedtime column. It's the new accountability chart, fresh, starting again on the 19th of Agosto. That's today. So they say. Here's a book. Here's Will's 3 seconds of fame. Do you get it, Will? Can you see it? I'm being a dick. That's the book by Robert Greene called Mastery. He, I think, got famous for writing a book called The 48 Laws of Power. A guy named Andrew Huberman, if you're familiar with Andrew Huberman, spoke about this book and said it was like one of the most influential books he's ever read, if not the most influential book that he's ever read. It really changed his life. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I started out. So I'm getting into it, and one of the things that it's telling you here in the beginning is that eventually you'll hit upon a particular field, niche, or opportunity that suits you perfectly. You'll recognize it when you find it because it will spark that childlike sense of wonder and excitement. So he's talking about going back into your childhood and figuring your shit out. Keys to mastery. So many of the great masters have found these keys in their childhood. Our times might emphasize equality, which we then mistake for the need for everyone to be the same. But what we really mean by this is the equal chance for people to express their differences, to let 1,000 flowers bloom. Wow. I wrote a little love letter in the column there. You guys can probably see it, but I can't see it anymore. But you can see it. So that's what counts. Because you're one of those 1,000 blooming flowers. I think that was just really well said, so I wanted to include it. The 5 strategies that they're about to lay out here, and I got through number 1, were illustrated by stories of masters. They're designed to deal with the main obstacles in your path over time. So there's 5 main obstacles that they identify here. The voices of others infecting you, fighting over limited resources, choosing false paths, getting stuck in the past, and losing your way. Pay attention to all of them because you will almost inevitably encounter each one in some form. I've definitely encountered all of those on my path to mastery. Return to your origins, it says, the primal inclination strategy. So, he talks about Ingmar Bergman being 9 years old. His parents gave his brother a cinematograph for Christmas, and he traded his own toys to get it because he had to have it for himself. And so he would go into the closet and watch that thing and be fascinated by it, and he became a master film director. Mastery. Einstein got a compass from his father and was transfixed by the needle, which changed direction as he moved the compass about. The idea that there was some kind of magnetic force that operated on this needle, invisible to the eyes, touched him to the core. Show me on the doll, Einstein, where the force touched you. There's definitely a Mark Hamill joke in there somewhere. Coltrane, growing up as a young boy in North Carolina, felt different and strange. I can definitely identify with that. He was much more serious than his schoolmates. He experienced emotional and spiritual longings that he did not know how to verbalize. He drifted into music, more as a hobby, taking up the saxophone and playing in a high school band. Then a few years later, he saw the jazz saxophonist Charlie Birdman Parker perform live. And the sounds that Charlie Parker produced touched Coltrane to the core. He should probably talk to Einstein. They could probably get on the same page with, that's what's going on there. Touching to the core seems to be a trend here. So I'm going to have to think about what touched me to the core. If you don't know who John Coltrane is, shame on you. The importance of recognizing these pre-verbal inclinations is that they are clear indications of an attraction that is not infected by the desires of other people. They're not something embedded in you by your parents, which come with a more superficial connection, something more verbal and conscious, coming instead from somewhere deeper. They can only be your own reflections of your unique chemistry. Every page is just more and more profound and alluring, and just got me hooked on its little ideas and stuff. I like it. People don't know. I'm 47 years old. I don't know what I am going to be a master of, other than being an artist. And I think that I'm just going to expand that over the next phase of life. I'll just be expanding, because what is an artist? It's an interesting question, right? What is an artist? Is an artist a craftsman? Can be. What's the difference between like a carpenter who comes over to like repair a broken stair or something like that, and an artist who creates like an infinite banister out of wood that like disappears up into the rafters of an architectural marvel? I mean, what is the difference between the person who built St. Peter's Basilica in Rome and the Third County Baptist Church in a temporary double-wide trailer that's out in the middle of, Jasper, Texas or whatever? I mean, there's, not to disrespect those churches, the house of God is within each one of us. But you know what I'm saying? Like, which one is an artist, and how do you take? You could take that double-wide trailer and you could turn it into a piece of art as well. But what is that? What is that? How do you take a thing and turn it from a thing into an art? It's an interesting question that I'll probably be wondering about for a long time. Do I love cooking? Do I love business? Do I love craftsmanship? Or do I love artistry? And artistry is what I'm talking about when I say that you can take a double-wide trailer in the middle of Jasper that is the Third County International Baptist Church of wherever. Artistry is what I'm talking about when I say that you can take a double-wide trailer in the middle of Jasper, Texas, and turn it into the St. Peter's Basilica. It's the ability to create inspiration in others, I think. How do you move people? How do you inspire people to action? By painting a picture, by sculpting a piece of wood, or making a movie, or writing a song. It's a very interesting phenomenon of human life. So we'll dig all the way down deep into that on another episode of the Don't Hold Your Breath podcast. For tonight, we're just going to keep it smooth, and I'm going to leave you with some questions about art. Why would you have to go to a university to get a degree in art? Art history, I can understand. Making art? Okay, yeah. Is it a trade school? I don't understand. Why do you have to take an algebra class to be an artist? But if you want to get a degree in art from a lot of universities. Anyway, that leads into the next question, because I think that there is an answer that leads into the next question, which is, how prominently does art figure into warfare? Is modern art a form of propaganda? Can it be used as such? Is it sometimes a form of propaganda? And if it is sometimes a form of propaganda, how do you tell the difference between what is and isn't? And if it is propaganda, does the fact that it's propaganda make the rest of the art inadvertently propaganda? Maybe. How does art affect us on such a profound level? And what can we do with the knowledge of that effect and how to manipulate that effect? So those are some questions that I have about art. Those are some questions that you are going to now have in your own brain about art. And This is episode 21 of the Don't Hold Your Breath podcast. Get out there in the world, make of it your masterpiece, and don't hold your breath.
If you have good ideas, you want to spread them as far and wide as possible. That's why I'll never charge for a piece of content. And no one in their right mind who has good ideas should. You don't want to restrict the avenues. You want people to recompose your ideas. Akira The Don takes stuff that I say and remixes into music.
Become the best in the world at what you do. Keep redefining what you do until this is true. Until this is true. Become the best in the world at what you do. Keep redefining what you do until this is true. Until this is true.
If you really want to get paid in this world, you want to be number one at whatever it is that you're doing.
Do you know who Akira The Don is?
Of course, he's amazing.
And it can be niche, that's the point. It can literally be you're getting paid for just being you. You know, at this point, some of the most successful people in the world are that way. Oprah gets paid for being Oprah. Joe Rogan gets paid for being Joe Rogan.